There is only one Tanner Boser. You know exactly who I'm talking to right now. Tanner's going to be fighting Andrei Arlovski coming up here at UFC Fight Night on October 3rd. Tanner, how's it going, man? Pretty big fight.
Going good. Actually, the fight's been pushed back to November 7th.
Oh, interesting. When did this happen?
A few weeks ago.
What was sort of the reason for the pushback?
Andrei was sick, and I guess he knew for a fact that there was no possible way he could get better and fight in 6 weeks, but he would definitely be good in 10 weeks, which makes tons of sense and is definitely a real sickness. So November 7th. Did
you ever get the whole TSN thing sorted out with your app?
Yeah, I did. How did I do it? That app is seriously the hugest piece of shit, man. Every single time I use it, it's a complete headache. I always end up emailing them and somebody's got to, I don't know. It's garbage, but I don't like pirating anything, so I do want to watch it on TSN, but I don't have cable or satellite, so I always just try and get the day pass on the app. But it's like, I'd say about a third of the time it works smoothly, and 2/3 of the time it just gives me all these stupid fucking errors and won't play anything. What I had to do last time was the guy told me to uninstall the app and reinstall the app, and that worked. But I mean, I never would have thought to, it's like taking the Game Boy cartridge out and blowing it and putting it back in.
Right,
Didn't know you had to do that with apps, but apparently you do with the TSN app because it's shit.
Have you talked to my buddy Aaron Bronstetter over there? I know he's not really in charge of that stuff, but he does work at TSN. Maybe you could put in a good word, get the UFC fighter treatment.
I don't know what the UFC fighter treatment is, but I've talked enough shit about their app that I'm not getting any special treatment. He helped me one time when I was having issues with it. But yeah, like I said, whenever I got to boot that thing up for the fights, I know I'm in for just to get super angry for a minute.
You're a ranked fighter now. I'm sure you saw that, or did see that you saw that on Twitter and everything like that. Did that make you a little bit excited knowing that you're now a ranked fighter?
It's cool, but I have to beat Arlovski to really cement it. I'm only in the rankings because Cormier's out and because Verdum, I think, might be out. So I think I got bumped in there, but there's a handful of guys that could be number 15. They voted for me to be number 15, but Arlovski or Tabura, there's guys that could easily be there too. So I got to beat Arlovski to really earn it.
When did you actually sign pen to paper on this fight? Because even before the original date, it seemed like you had some notice for this one.
Yeah, no, I signed it like in August. Like, I don't remember when, but I think I had the contract earlier in August.
Very cool. Okay, well, that's good. Now, was he someone you were a fan of, long before you decided to do this professionally? Because, Arlovski's been in the UFC forever. I mean, he left and did sort of a, tour in, Elite XC and, Strikeforce and everywhere else. But I'm sure he's someone that you watched, growing up.
Yeah, I did see some of his fights. When I got into UFC, he wasn't in UFC. It was during his break. I did cheer for him a lot when he got back, where he almost got a title shot there when he put together that good 4-fight win streak, with Travis Brown and other crazy fights like that. But yeah, it was never I was never a huge fan. I would cheer for him more than I wouldn't though. I enjoyed watching him fight, and I still do enjoy watching him fight.
Based on what you see now, you guys do have a common opponent in Felipe Lins. How do you look at this from a style perspective?
Andrei's really good at figuring out a way to win fights. He's technical. He's pretty quick. He'll come in usually lighter, like I do. He's good at coming up with game plans. So I got to figure out, or we have ideas, but what he thinks he's going to be able to make me do, and then be able to counter that.
Training camp, now that you have lots of times for this, do you structure things differently, or is it just business as usual in terms of what you're going to be doing ahead of this fight?
Oh, it's business as usual. Same old.
And I saw KB's fight got moved as well, too, so I'm sure he's now fighting in November, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's fighting November 3rd, so if my fight that's been pushed back ends up being in Vegas, then that would be awesome because we would all just be in Vegas. But I don't know. I can assume because I know that they postponed Contender Series while they do another stint at Fight Island. So they must be back from Fight Island then for my fight. It's got to be in the States, and it's only been Vegas, so it's probably Vegas, but that's nothing but speculation.
Would you prefer to fight in Vegas as opposed to doing the Abu Dhabi thing again, or did you like doing that in terms of getting a little bit of travel in there?
No, I do Vegas. I'll take the shorter travel time. Maybe that's why Arlovski knew he'd be sick on fight day, October 3rd. Maybe he just didn't want to go to Abu Dhabi. I don't know.
Okay. And then still getting the ready-made meals for you, leading into this fight?
But my meal craft, yeah, they're still hooking me up.
That's good. Yeah, because I wasn't sure if it was just like per fight or like, I guess you just get it year round as long as they keep sponsoring you, I guess.
Yeah, I get it all the time. Yeah, like they give me a good deal on it when I don't have a fight coming up, and when I do, they sponsor me and give me, like 8 weeks or so worth of meals. So it's pretty awesome.
How do you see the fight playing out? You feel like your hand's going to get raised, but how do you envision, the fight sort of unfolding?
There's this big misconception that Arlovski has no chin because he got knocked out a couple times. But if you have like 100 fights, eventually you get knocked out. He's not out there getting knocked out all the time.
Yeah.
He got caught by like Rosenstruik, who kind of knocks everybody out. But, I think he's savvy enough and he's got enough experience that he's a hard guy actually to catch. And I think that my style is it's similar to his style, I think, but I'm a little younger and a little quicker, so I think I'll get off a little more strikes, and I see me winning a decision.
Yeah, Arlovski's kind of the exception to the rule, actually, because if you remember when he was in Strikeforce, and even before that, when he fought for Affliction, like he got knocked out a couple times in a row, and then there was a streak where he just went on this crazy run. Like, usually when someone gets knocked out consecutively, especially as they're getting a little bit older, it's kind of like, oh, the chin's gone. But in his case, he figured it out, and he's got knocked out, I think, like you mentioned, the Rosenstruik fight. But in general, he really hasn't over the last couple of years. Fans are kind of fickle that way, right?
Yeah, he's went to decision a lot, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. It's definitely going to be a hard fight, and it should be exciting as well. Now,
we talked about the implications of this. I mean, this, just on your resume, I mean, this has got to be the biggest fight of your career in terms of fighting a former champion and all that. You're in the rankings now. Where do you see a win putting you here over Arlovski, especially a finish?
It's just going to keep me at number 15.
You don't think it puts you up even further? No?
Maybe I'll go to 14 because Blagoy Ivanov is 14, and I think he's he lost a couple in a row.
He had a controversial decision to who was it? Sakai. I remember not that long ago. I think it was that. Yeah,
actually, that was bullshit. Sakai completely grabbed the fence, like really.
Oh, yeah, I remember
really
you mentioning
blatantly,
that. Yeah.
Really bad. And if he didn't, then Blagoy would have won the decision. So that was a bullshit thing that happened. Not as bad as the Ed Herman thing that happened this weekend.
Yeah, what did you think of that? Because fans were blaming Herman, and I get that point too. But I think it was the referee who's got to be blamed here. He made the mistake.
Fault. So Herman's battered, beat up. He gets kneed in the body and goes down. He's about to get TKO'd. Like, he's done. And the ref stops it and says, time? What the fuck do you want Herman to do? Tap? Referee gave him time. He's like, oh, referee said I got hit in the nuts. Maybe he, even in that moment, thought he did get hit in the nuts. Like, he's getting straight up his ass beat. So you're kind of battered and beat up. You get a timeout. You're just going to take the timeout. It's not like Herman claimed he got hit in the balls and wanted the ref to stop it, and the ref believed him. He dropped and the ref stopped it. And he's like, oh, okay, I must have got hit in the balls. You know what I mean? Like, it's not his fault. It's the ref's fault. And even then, it's kind of just bad luck. Like, once in a while, the ref's going to think he saw something that he didn't. That really is a shame for that poor dude that lost that fight, who he definitely won a TKO in round 2 and then got Kamara in round 3. He almost finished Herman in round 3 as well. If he would have thrown like 2 more strikes when he dropped him again in 3 after the Travis Brown elbows, man, that's gotta suck.
Don't you think too that that's a case where they need to, maybe figure out a way to implement instant replay? Because that's something where, hey, the ref made a mistake. Kind of like they do in hockey, right? If the puck goes past the goal or something and they go back to Toronto and they're like, hey, we've determined that it's not a goal or it is a goal. Maybe they could do that with Vegas. Go back to Vegas and we'll check. I don't know. Do it in between rounds or something.
They should do some instant replay, and I think it's stupid that they don't. But I don't see how that would have changed it because the ref stopped it. He had to make a judgment call right then and stop it. So if he looks at the instant replay, all he can do is restart the fight sooner, but he's already stopped the finishing sequence. What are you going to do? You can't just like disqualify Herman because you think that he was probably going to lose there.
Right, but you could start them in the same position they were in and restart the fight. Like maybe have Herman crouched over or something. They do that sometimes.
They do that sometimes, and I think it's really stupid. Like
okay.
when you
honesty,
when you restart a position, like when someone's in a horribly disadvantaged position, and for some reason you stop it and you set them back there, and the other guy gets to like kind of think and wind up and look for a big one. I think that's bullshit. But whatever. That situation is a whole mess. And yeah, as for the Blagoy-Sakai one, that sucked too, because I do think Blagoy was going to win that fight. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it puts me at 14, but maybe I stay at 15.
Netflix, what are you watching?
I'm actually watching Cobra Kai.
Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah, I've heard good things. I have not checked that out yet, so I'll have to give it a look. But you're a fan. If you like it, I'm sure I'm going to like it too.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot.
Tanner, anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any social media? I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I got PPS, Paul Pedal Services, BBN Consulting, Premier Built Garages, Mealcraft, and Nickel City Beard Blends are my sponsors at the moment. My coaches, of course, Jeff Montemuro and Keijiro Noda, and I got a lot of training partners. So, yeah, thanks to all those guys.